now, so he gets it all the way.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
Okay. We're recording. Good there. Okay. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bump and Run. I'm Pete Colasano, joined, as always, by my good friend, Mr. Scott Bracey, and you're listening to the best, the funniest, and, of course, the most accurate sports talk podcast on the internet. So thank you for listening. What's going on, dude? I'm sure you can hear a little extra pep in my step today. And college football is really... it's a very good year with this playoff, so I'm very excited to talk about it today.
Yeah,
because it's interesting. It's not clear cut.
Well,
Interesting.
there's still room for chaos discussion. Next week, probably even a little bit more.
Things could get even messier this week.
I'm sure as we have different thoughts on some teams that, well, I think we both share the same thought with the head-to-head.
Yeah,
that we talked about last week.
Well, you're leading me right into what I wanted to mention, because there is chaos, and we're going to talk about a bunch of it, I'm sure, when we get to it. But one team that's on the outside looking in, and I don't even think they're really looking in, they're going to be left out. But I find it fascinating when it comes to how we choose to make our arguments for who's in, and that team is Texas. Texas, to me, is not a playoff team. They're not a playoff team because they have 3 losses
and one bad loss,
and one of them is bad. But I try not to look at like losses more importantly than wins, and that's where I'm going to start this, because you hear people saying, "Well, if this is how it's going to go, then why would Texas schedule in Ohio State to start the season?" And that's a fair statement. But losing to Ohio State is not why Texas is not in the college football playoffs. They're not in the college football playoffs because they lost to a sub-500 Florida team. That's why. And if you're truly a playoff team, you can't lose to a sub-500 team. So you can look at Miami and say, well, they had 2 not great losses. SMU was a playoff team last year. They're an 8-4 team this year. That's not a terrible loss.
No.
Louisville at the time was ranked. So,
and both were on the road too, right?
And both were on the road. So I'm not going to, I mean, they're not great losses, but I'm just saying I'm not going to kill them for it. But what's interesting about Texas, so Texas doesn't have an argument because they have 3 losses, not because they have 2 and one of them being Ohio State, but because they have 3 losses and one of them's bad. But what makes Texas so interesting is that what I prefer to do is look at good wins, right? And Texas has a number of good wins. They have a handy win over Oklahoma, a handy win over Texas A&M at the end of the season here, and a win over a the top 15 Vanderbilt team. So it's
which is still funny to hear, by the way.
I know, right? And I think they might even get it even better next year, because I believe they signed the second highest rated player in all of high school football to their team,
Georgia,
a quarterback, right?
Crazy,
kind of a big deal. So I just think that's why Texas is so interesting, because their argument is definitely there on the quality wins. When we talk about Notre Dame, their quality win is kind of USC, I guess. At least at the time, USC.
Yeah, that definitely the 100%. And then I guess Pitt's the second one, which whatever.
It's not even. Miami certainly has a better case with their one quality win being Notre Dame, but they don't really have any others that are that great. You know, as you look at the season as a whole. But Texas, on the other hand, has some really impressive wins that rank up there with Vanderbilt's wins. Vanderbilt has some really nice wins also. But that's just what makes it interesting. But the thing that I think what the committee looks at is it starts with your record. If we look at the top 12 teams, they're 11-0, or at least right now 11-0, or 11-1, or 10-2. Like that's nobody's got more than 2 losses.
Yep.
There's nobody in the top 12 or nobody being considered that's going to have two losses before championship weekend.
Right.
We could get someone with a 3rd loss, but at least for what it seems like we hear is that the committee will not consider conference championship game losses. That shouldn't count against you, right? Because you're playing an extra game that other people don't have to play. So only can help you, it can't hurt you, which I think is absolutely fair.
I think so too.
Now, this whole thing,
unless you get blown out by 40, and then that's maybe a little bit.
Yes, but even still, like if you just weren't in the game, it wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, I
You
guess
can't be
that's-
hurt by
yeah.
not playing, you know.
That's true. That's true.
But this goes back to what we've been talking about now for I think like 3 weeks, that there needs to be a better system. I heard Urban Meyer on Colin Cowherd's show talking about, you know, on a Saturday morning or a Friday afternoon when they're doing their prep for the show, it's him, it's 2 Heisman Trophy winners, it's another former championship coach, and he goes, and we can't get this right. Like, these are the smartest minds in all of college football. Like, if anybody has championship pedigree, it's these guys and their ability to talk about it. And they can't just talk it out because it's not that easy. It comes down to what we've been talking about, that there needs to be some kind of system in place. There's some kind of point system, some kind of thing where it's like, this is how it works. This is how that counts. And then that way, you would still want to play in Ohio State as opposed to Mississippi Valley State, because even in losing to Ohio State, you might gain 5 points or however where you gain nothing by beating Mississippi Valley State. So that's the kind of system that needs to be in place so that we don't have these kind of considerations. And I don't know, in that kind of system, there might be a way that Texas, having beaten Oklahoma, who's top 10, having beaten Texas A&M, who was number 2 in the country, number 3 in the country at the time, and a top 15 Vandy, maybe they do sneak in. If they just have enough points because they've beaten that many good teams, maybe they find their way in.
Totally different outlook at that point.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing. And it's inarguable. There's nothing to argue.
And that's Notre Dame's now thing too, because like you lost to your 2 hardest teams on the roster on the schedule.
And you pretty much beat nobody else.
And you beat nobody else. So you have no power points from there.
You have no power points.
Boston College, who cares? Like,
right. Now you'd get some, but they're not going to get enough to get them in the playoffs. Whereas, you know, frankly, at this point, I suspect both Vandy and Texas would be in if it was a PowerPoint system.
Yeah.
You know, so I just wanted to bring that up, that I thought the whole Texas thing was interesting. They don't deserve it because you can't get in with 3 losses. You don't have an argument to being national champion if you have 3 losses.
I was watching that game.
But boy, when we're talking about quality wins, they sure have a number of them.
I was watching that game. I was thinking about you because I'm like, you trashed Texas for 2 weeks, and here they go and beat A&M, and I'm like, oh, fucking Pete's going to
in 2 out of 3 weeks, they beat Oklahoma, or 2 out of 4 weeks, they beat Oklahoma and Texas A&M. You got to give them credit for it. And you got to give Sarkisian some credit for coaching them up throughout the season. Arch Manning, while still not an NFL quarterback, he's significantly better than he was when he started the season.
He's getting there. There's definitely some strides, but
there's still
a lot to work on.
Oh my God!
I might be seeing a lot of them in the bowl game against Michigan. That's the rumor that they are playing. So we'll see.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how I wanted to start this off.
NFL Week 13 in the books. A lot of good Turkey Day action. First one: Green Bay Packers 31, Detroit Lions 24. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes down early, kind of changes the whole game plan for the Lions. Could not get off the field on 3rd and 4th down. Packers going for it. This game had like a feel to me in like the 90s when the Lions were terrible and the Packers were dominant. I know that's not the case anymore. Our boy Dan Campbell. Packers kind of just played better and
I thought Packers played a really good game. I didn't think Detroit played bad.
No, I think
a lot of these 4th down calls are starting to come back and bite Dan Campbell in the ass. At some point, dude, you got to like check yourself. We talked about this 2 years ago with him against going for it down by the goal line.
Fran.
Was it San Fran
in the playoff game? Yeah,
and maybe was it Dallas before the playoffs or something? I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, and there was a penalty and they went for it again. Like
they went for it again, and it's like, dude, at some point, just you got to adjust a little bit. Time and place. And I feel like that was a bit there too. The other side of it is, we talked about this, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago when Green Bay was kind of scuffling. They lost to Carolina. And we were like, man, maybe they're not as good as we thought. And I just remember every friggin' year since Matt LaFleur has been the head coach, he just does an amazing job of rounding them into shape and playing their best football as the season is coming to an end, kind of when December, after Thanksgiving. And that's kind of what I'm seeing now. Like, they're playing their best. Jordan Love is playing his best. I've talked to you so many times about him throwing off his back foot. But I will say, when he steps into a throw and lets it rip, he could absolutely sling it with the best of them, dude. He really does have a very strong arm and can play. So I just thought they looked good. They just played better than Detroit. I don't think Detroit played bad. Their defense is banged up again, and especially in the defensive backfield. Yeah. it's just hard to watch. They just can't get stops, man. And they're not quite the same team offensively. We've commented about this many times, that interior offensive line, guard, center guard, they're just not the same, So it changes things for them.
Dallas Cowboys 31, Kansas City Chiefs 28, and that puts the Chiefs at 6-6 with 5 to go. If you can hear a little excitement in my voice, I thought Dallas played great in this game.
Fantastic.
I thought they played. We've been on this for a couple of weeks now with Schottenheimer. Hell of a job.
Yes.
And Jerry Jones too, man. Trade for George Pickens and then trade for Williams and Logan Wilson, and they got some guys back from the secondary.
Dude, do you know that they have the second highest rate of quarterback pressures in the NFL right now? That's without not quarterback sacks, just pressures.
Who's first, the Texans or the Broncos?
I think it's the Texans.
Yeah.
I think it's the Texans or Denver. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
Denver might be leading in sacks, but not overall pressure. I don't know. It's something, but it's definitely like those three teams are right in there. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The Quinnen Williams pickup. Look, I still believe that they kind of have to run the table to make it to the playoffs. But it's, if they win this game this coming weekend, it's more than plausible. And what was so cool to watch in this game, Dallas did what every team says they want to do against Kansas City in the fourth quarter when you have a lead on Kansas City, which is get the ball and keep the ball. Mm-hmm. And they kind of did that in the last possession, got a couple first downs, and ending the game, you having the ball against Kansas City is how you want it. Everybody says they want to do it, but nobody's able to. The one big difference that you can see in Kansas City this year on the downside from the past probably 2 or 3 seasons, they were always really good at getting teams, especially late in games, getting teams into the third down and like kind of long, 5+, right? And then what's his name would dial up the blitz or dial up some kind of pressure, dial up some kind of defense, and force you to punt and get that ball back to Mahomes. And they just haven't been able to do it this year as much, and they definitely didn't do it against Dallas. And I thought that was really something that you look at and you say, okay, Dallas, that's the kind of thing that good teams do, and you just did that. It was impressive.
How many teams are going to win 5-1? Well, maybe. Chicago Bears 24, Philly 15. Philly is just broken.
Scuffling big time.
I just don't understand how they, week after week after week, we've been saying the same thing. And they had one good week where they exploded a little bit, but they just cannot fit. Hurts is now, it's kind of makes me smile though a little bit. And I'm sorry, Mike Dean, for this, but the tush push now, they're getting stopped more often, and now people are going for the ball. I love it.
Yeah, again, back to the offensive line, right? They don't have the same effectiveness on the offensive line.
Saquon doesn't look the same either.
No,
and listen, over 200 carries. There's a reason why it's in the records where the year after it's tough to repeat, man. That's a lot of wear and tear, especially you go late in the year. You go to mid-February now. It's Super Bowl. It's late.
Absolutely,
long year.
I think the scariest thing to point out about this game was that Chicago had two, and this is where I thought things were different from 2 years ago, because 2 years ago it was really the defense that fell apart and couldn't stop anybody. And I was like, well, not this year. The defense is still playing very well. They just gave up 100 rushing yards to 2 players on the Bears. They had 200, was it 260, 280 total rushing?
Yeah, brutal.
I don't care who you are. This is what we fear with Buffalo. Like, if you can't stop the run late in the season, you ain't going nowhere, dude. Like, you can't score enough points late in the season when everybody's playing.
And Philly's Jalen Carter just went double shoulder surgery. That's not going to get any better.
Oh, so they have him as week to week right now. He won't play on Monday, but you have him as week to week. But that's huge. That's their best player on the defensive side of the ball.
And not for nothing, folks, if you don't know what defensive tackle, it's all shoulders. It's all head and shoulders. You're going to get beat to shit, dude.
So I would think at least 2 weeks. I don't know what the procedure was.
Even if it's a clean out, man, it's still tender. I don't know.
It's asking a lot. So, yeah, I agree. Tough times right now for Philly.
And on the other side, Bears just keep chugging along here, man, and just win the games.
I've been kind of banging on Chicago, saying that I don't know how real their record is because they haven't beaten anybody with a winning record. Well, they just went on the road and dominated a team that just won the Super Bowl last year. So I got to give it to them. I still have issues with Caleb Williams. It's not like he played that great. It was really more about running the ball.
When you run the ball like that, though, bro.
You don't have to, right? So they still have quite the gauntlet coming down the end of the season. They have some really good teams that they have to play against, but I have to give Ben Johnson a lot of credit. This team is just different. They don't have the same penalties that they had last year. Caleb Williams, whatever his faults are with accuracy and footwork and stuff like that, he's taken like a third of the sacks from last year. Like it's down 60% or something like that.
That's important.
Insane. It's huge because they're no longer in like third and long, second and long, difficult spots. Now they're like third and short, especially with this running game. So Ben Johnson, dude, total home run by the Bears. And what is his name? Poles, the GM Poles.
Ryan Poles, yeah.
Ryan Poles. Like great, that's great hire. It's a great get. I don't know how much they paid him, but it was smart.
Houston goes into Indianapolis and pulls off a little upset, 20-16. Jones, not the same guy. If he
with kind of a broken leg, I don't even
know.
Well,
yes, but if he doesn't give you the look like he's going to run a little bit, you could kind of, especially with that defense,
it hurts.
It definitely hurts. Jonathan Taylor, obviously not as productive without Jones's ability to run, the keep option there. Houston defense playing great.
Elite, man.
It's at the
so
lifetime.
good.
What they start 1-4? We almost wrote them
Something
off,
like
right?
that.
1-5. We almost said goodnight, Irene.
There's an argument to be made that they're a Super Bowl contender right now. That defense is that good.
It's close. Stroud looked like he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, if they string together a couple more wins against decent teams, like that defense is so good. It's just very good. So good.
Two teams here that are going opposite directions. The Colts schedule. Colts schedule going forward is brutal.
Tough.
I think it's Texans again, Jaguars twice, Niners and Seahawks.
Yeah, you can see them like absolutely a total collapse and missing the playoffs. It's really on the table. God. And I can't believe that because there was a point in this season where in most people's power rankings, whether it was ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports, wherever you look, ours, Colts, number 1, number 2, number 3.
I don't even have them in my honorable mention this week.
No. So, yeah, pretty wild, man. Just really wild.
Not to get everyone excited yet. We're not there yet. So a team that you just talked about that has trouble stopping the run, but they had no problem running against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Buffalo Bills ran the same play about 12 times, and I think they gained like 10 yards plus every single time. It's hard to believe that we're talking about the Steelers like this. They are a shell of themselves.
It's the
all
most
over the place.
It's the most expensive defense in the NFL by far, by the way.
Oh,
and it stinks. It's just not good. It's not good.
Stinks.
Buffalo can run the ball. Don't get me wrong, but not that good.
No,
not that good, and not against the Steelers, and not against the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
So I was fucking around Sunday doing a bunch of shit, and somebody texted me, and they're like, "Man, Tomlin's gonna finish above 500 again, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, oh, man, they're fucking smoking the Bills? I'm like, oh, it's 7-3. I turn red zone back on. 9 seconds in, Steelers turn the ball over, Bills 10-7. I'm like, well, good night. That was fun.
Yep.
Rodgers all bloodied up. I'm like, holy shit. But I didn't think they'd go down with a whimper like that, man. Holy shit. That game was just tough to watch.
I know.
I was texting my brother and Steve East Valley a little bit, and they're just like, dude, get rid of fucking everybody. They've had it.
Yeah, I mean, there's the talk all week has been about, is it time for Mike Tomlin to go? You and I have kind of been talking about this for 2 years. So to us, this is not necessarily new. I would never want to make it like an unceremonious dismissal or anything like that. They need to do it in a way where it's some kind of mutual parting of ways. It's just time, a Bill Walsh kind of.
Yeah, they won't embarrass them. No.
And they shouldn't. Unless he just says, no, you're going to have to fire me. Like if he just refuses,
he could be
that's on him.
Yeah.
Then that's on him, and then so be it. You know what I mean?
But everything you hear, though, they're not going to fire him. Everything you hear, like they say,
they don't. They've never been the kind of organization to leak that kind of shit. So I'm not expecting it.
Now Cowher retired, right? They didn't fire him, right?
No, that was also mutual. He won the Super Bowl,
and then they were down the next 2 years.
And he's kind of the reverse of Tomlin, right? Tomlin came in, won a Super Bowl, kind of off of Cowher's team, and then hasn't really done much since. And that's with a Hall of Fame quarterback for much of that time.
Sure.
Cowher was the opposite. Before they won the Super Bowl, there was some talk, fan chatter. Hey, is this the guy that's going to get us over the hump? And he just wasn't getting it done until he did. And then he was like riding off into the sunset. So it's really the opposite of each other. but I don't know. It's a tough one because he's earned the respect in a lot of ways, but also hasn't. They haven't won a playoff game since 2016.
Pete, it's getting uglier and uglier. They have a bad quarterback situation. We have no idea what Will Howard's going to do. Rudolph's not the fucking guy. We know that
for sure.
So,
and, the other side of it is too, like, clearly the team isn't responding. And in the past, they've always responded to him. And it seems like this is 2 years in a row, late season. The team is not responding. They're getting older.
Has not helped them down the stretch the last 2-3 years, but still, you're an NFL team. You're the Steelers. Nut up and let's go, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
31. The LA Rams, like you mentioned, everybody had the Rams one in their power rankings.
Absolutely.
Some people still might, but Panthers played great. Bryce Young, to me, I love him. I love him one drive, and I hate him the next drive. I can't figure out, and I think Panther fans probably agree with that. 2 good running backs. They're starting to get some emergence out of the wide receiver core. Offensive line is really underrated, man. Really good. For months now, dude, they've been running the ball. And do it on the Rams. I know it's a far trip, 1 o'clock kick, whatever. But
that's what makes it just as impressive. More impressive, just blows me away. Yeah, they're. It's funny. They're kind of who we thought they were. Like before the season started, we thought they would be an up and coming team. And frankly, in the beginning of the season, it didn't look like it. But look, to go on the road and beat the Packers on the road and beat the Rams on the road, I almost don't care what the rest of your record is. It's like wildly impressive. So it's a good job. That head coach is doing a really good job. And frankly, Bryce Young at times looks so good and other times looks so small. It's the wildest thing. He doesn't ever necessarily look bad, but like when you're playing well, you don't look little. You know what I mean? Like when you're throwing dimes, when Kyler Murray is running around like it's a damn video game and then throws a BB for a touchdown after like a 9-second scramble. Like you're not like, oh man, that was good, but he's so little. You're just like, God damn, that was insane. And Bryce Young kind of same. Like when he's dealing, dude, it looks really good. Like it just looks really good. And then other times it just looks like a little kid that just can't get it done. You know what I mean? But right now, God, I mean, that's as impressive a win as there is, man. Seattle went in there and couldn't get the job done. And they just did. And frankly, to play as good a defense as they did, what is it? Matt Stafford hadn't thrown a touchdown. Like he had thrown 20-something touchdowns without an interception.
Yeah,
and then gets picked twice.
Yeah.
Like just unbelievable. So really, really great job by Carolina there.
You have anything else?
Nope, I think you're good there.
All right, you go first this week with your top 5, sir.
Okay. Just frankly, coming off of the game we just mentioned, I have Seattle at number 1. I put Seattle back at number 1.
You go 1 to 5?
I'll go 1 to 5. Yeah, just because you were just talking about the Rams. I put Seattle back at number 1. They didn't even play great offensively, and they shut a team out. There's only been 2 shutouts in the NFL. I don't care who you're playing. A shutout is a shutout. So you go on the road and get an impressive shutout. I'm just there. I watched that defense.
They were home.
Yeah, at home. That's what I meant. They were, get a shutout. I watched that defense. It almost reminds me of like a elite college defense in a way where, like when Alabama had some of the elite defense, they just look bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody else.
You remember. Yes, sir.
That is what I feel like when I'm watching Seattle. They just are flying around and just mashing people. So I just have them at number 1. I just think they're the best team. I really do. I felt that way for a few weeks now, even though last week I had the Rams ahead of them because the Rams beat them. I have the Rams at number 2. I still think they're very good. I think this just was a bad loss. I think it was a letdown game. I think it was like, we're kind of mailed it in, and you can't mail it in the NFL, and they did. But I still think when it comes down to it, that defense is very good, excellent weapons. Matthew Stafford is fantastic, excellent head coach. They're up there. I have Denver at number 3. I just don't know how much longer you can look past it. Finding ways to win is winning. It's winning. And they do what they have to do offensively, but they're really good defensively. And that to me is championship football. So especially when it comes to the playoff rounds, late in the season and then playoff rounds, that's what you want. Excellent head coach, smart, athletic, good quarterback, and top-notch defense. I'll take it. I have the Packers at number 4. They have worked their way back up into the top 5. And the way they're playing and the way they're rounding into shape, Matthew LaFleur does this every year, and it seems like he's doing it again. They probably will be playing their best football as the regular season winds down. And at number 5, I got them back in there because they're another team that it seems year after year finds a way to be playing their best football the last quarter of the season and then into the playoffs, and that's the Buffalo Bills. Oh, do you want me to? Oh, we could talk honorable mention afterwards.
All right, I'll go 5-1. 5, I got the Bears, dude. That's an impressive win to me at Philly, Black Friday event. All eyes on you. Ran the ball down the Eagles' throats. I got to put them in there. Respect.
Hard to argue it.
I got the Broncos at 4. I'd like to put them a little higher, but they just can't close anybody out. They let teams back in. They close them out
winning
eventually.
Is closing out.
But winning is closing out. 3, I got the Rams. That's just a weird game on the road. I didn't really put much into it. Number 2, I got the Patriots, man. They are rolling. Vrabel. Yeah. I know. I can't believe you didn't put him in at all.
I know.
Vrabel, Drake May looks fucking awesome. He just looks poised. This team's going to be a problem for 10, 12 years.
Drake May
is fantastic. It's fantastic.
He's making decisions and putting balls in places
and he's not throwing to Jason Higgins, folks.
No. He's as impressive a quarterback as I've watched this year, considering what he's working with.
And one on with you, I got Seattle. Hard to argue, dude. They're just fucking good.
Fantastic.
You don't want to play them.
Yeah, I still, when I look at power rankings and stuff like that, it kind of comes, especially this time of year, it's like, who do you trust in the playoffs? Like when it comes to the playoffs. Now, Buffalo didn't even make the playoffs, but if it was Buffalo against the Patriots, I don't care if Patriots beat them again the second time. If it came to a playoff game, I just trust Buffalo just because Patriots, this incarnation of the team has not been there. They have not seen a playoff field. So, but my honorable mentions would be the Patriots, the Bears. I think it's well deserving. And then I got to be honest with you, man, the freaking Cowboys. I don't think anybody wants to face them right now. I sure wouldn't want to face them because they can score. They're the leading or second leading scoring team in the league. And now they're actually playing some decent defense.
Dude, you know what's really cool? Like we have a lot of teams on here. So my honorable mention, Texans, Packers,
fair,
Bills, and 49ers.
That's another one, man. You got to give Shanahan some credit, man. Especially on the defensive side. This is a MASH unit. And even on offense, like you had Mac Jones as your starter for a number of weeks. He played very well. But
you guys have played it down. Pearsall's out for a while.
You guys have been there. Exactly. So, yeah, it's just this is why I say, like, you want to know what a good coach looks like? Show me what they do when the chips are down or when you have a lot of injuries. Show me what they do. You know, a couple years ago, was it with Cleveland or was it last year? Or a couple years ago with Cleveland and Joe Flacco, and like they make a run.
Yeah,
like that's good coaching that you could just call in, you know, a Joe Flacco. And I have so much respect for Joe Flacco. I don't mean it like he's some kind of scrub, but he wasn't on your team and he shows up and you like have a good season, make the playoffs. Like,
yeah,
I'm sorry. That's good coaching, dude. That's really good coaching. And you're seeing that with some of these guys with the really elite coaches. You're seeing that this year. And Shanahan is one of them. There's just no doubt about it. I get it. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. You don't want to put that on him, but goddamn, dude, he's a really good coach. He's a really good coach.
Week 14 starts tonight. Huge game. Dallas Cowboys at the Detroit Lions.
It's so funny. It's a huge game, and both of these teams are not in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, and both have coming off a full week of rest because they both played on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of an elimination game, wouldn't you say?
I would say. I would.
Although
the way the Eagles are playing, I don't know.
Yeah, not mathematically.
Yeah,
but when you look at each team's schedule going down,
the eyes,
it's just like, you know, if you lose this game, you really got a hard time making a convincing argument for getting in the playoffs.
The Cowboys are playing on paper so much better right now.
Yeah. And their strength is going up against Detroit's weakness right now.
No doubt. Man-to-man coverage.
Man-to-man coverage, and you're banged up.
I know.
Like,
and Hutch is by himself. He can't get any help on the other side now again.
Nope.
Same shit again.
Yes. Yeah. It's a tough matchup. The problem is Dan Campbell.
7-5?
What's that?
Lions are 7-5. Yeah.
Yep. And Dallas is 6-5.
And then the Bears and Packers ahead of them. Yeah, they're deep shit. They lose this game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, they're not mathematically out.
No,
you just got to look and say, if you're losing to the Cowboys at home, if you're losing to Green Bay at home, if you're losing to, they lost another game. I forget who it was.
They lost to Green Bay twice.
Yeah, so like
They have no
at some point you
tiebreaker
got to say,
there.
well, like you're not going to run the table because you're not going to run the table.
They lost to the
because you're
Vikings at
not
home
that
too. They
team.
lost to JJ at home, I think, too, right? Oh my god.
They definitely lost to Minnesota. Was it
Yeah.
at home?
I think it was.
I think you're right, actually. So at some point, when you start losing enough games, the idea of running the table just becomes ridiculous because you haven't even put together more than a 2 or 3 game winning streak. You're definitely not going to do 5.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. It's not mathematically out, but you're kind of
because then you got the West too. You got the
absolutely
Seattle Rams and Niners. Yeah, you got no wiggle room at all.
none.
Sneaky game. By the way, little touch. We'll talk about this right now. We didn't talk about it on the review, but Joe Burrow. Holy shit! Coming
Something
off
else,
the couch, dude. He is.
And you know what? I listened all week to fucking morons on ESPN. Like, I wouldn't play him.
I know.
They're football players, dude.
First of all, did you hear his response? Did you hear White?
I think I did, but
dude, on what a fucking First of all, I know we both like Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
but this made it go up a notch. They asked him first of all the pregame interview. I can't stand these guys. Are like getting ready to go to battle, and you got to talk to a sweetheart on the sideline. Hey Joe, why are you playing tonight? Well, I'm getting paid a lot of money. It's a game I love. I don't know how many I have left in my career. Like this, for an example, I missed a half a year. I want to play.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes. Yeah.
That's I don't know what these guys are talking about. Mike Greenberg, again, a guy who never played sports basically in his life.
He's getting.
Oh, the organization. You think the organization can tell Joe Burrow not to play? They couldn't tell him we're not signing T. Higgins. Right. You think they can tell him not to step on the field and play football? Are you outside your mind?
Trade me someone that will play me. Yeah,
he'd be out of Dodge. He'd quit. He'd come on, dude. And they're football players. Do you understand the kind of mentality it takes to become an NFL player, to win a national championship at LSU? You think that guy with that mentality says, "Yeah, I'm healthy, but I don't want to play the rest of this year because it doesn't matter"? Are you fucking stupid?
So.
Yes, the answer is yes, you're stupid.
Yeah, Bengals at Bills.
Big game, right?
Bills coming off a great win, great game. Cold weather game in Cincinnati, so that's not going to really bother. Burrow's a fucking animal. Allen's an animal. Great. Again, this game always gives me the heebie-jeebies because it's the...
Take the over because it should be a shit ton of points. Neither one of them.
It's a DeMar Hamlin game. It always gives you a little bit of the creeps, but it's in Buffalo for the first time in years. Buffalo, step on their neck now. This is like enough with the roller coaster ride. You just got off a big win at Pittsburgh. Come home, put the Bengals to bed. Don't let them hang around.
Right.
But I don't know if they're going to do it.
All right. So here's a very different scenario of people talking about, can Cincinnati run the table, even though they have a losing record, like a 4-8 losing record. But if they run the table, they can make the playoffs, win the division. And it's like, well, this is not as ridiculous, number one, because they don't have the Packers and the Bears ahead of them.
Right.
They have teams with basically 500 or losing records ahead of them.
Correct.
So even though they're only 4-8, they're only 2 games back right now.
Bingo.
So it's a very different scenario. Again, I don't think they're going to do it because their defense is so bad.
I don't think so either.
But it's a much more viable rationale because of the teams that are ahead of them. It's not like they're 4-8 and you're trying to catch a team that's 7-5 right now or 8-4. That's ridiculous.
You think Lamar's hurt?
I do, and he didn't practice again today. I don't know if you heard. We're doing this on Thursday afternoon, and Lamar didn't practice. He was limited yesterday on Wednesday and out of practice again on Thursday with an ankle issue.
So we'll go right there. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. We'll go right to that game. And
this goes back to what we've been saying. I swear on my kids since we started this podcast. When everybody's like, "Oh, Lamar's elite. He's an elite passer now." No. He's an elite passer at times because of the threat of the run is so enormous. Unlike any quarterback maybe in history other than maybe Michael Vick, the threat of Lamar Jackson taking off forces defense to play shallower, to play up closer to the line of scrimmage, and sometimes shadow. And even the shadow wasn't good enough. Now that he can't run,
correct,
he is a below average passer. Yep. You can see it. It doesn't mean he stinks. It doesn't mean he can't do it. It just means he's not the same guy when he can't run. I mean, we've been telling you this, and everybody, no, look at the numbers. Look, he leads the league in touchdowns and no interceptions. Yeah, well, when everyone's stacking the line of scrimmage because they're scared shit of you taking off, it's going to look better. But now that you can't run, You're not that good a passer. He's okay. He's not terrible, but he's just not great. And we're starting to see that now.
It's something.
It's not good.
And Henry doesn't look the same either.
He looks a little older.
Wear and tear.
He looks older.
A little colder now. He's not running the same. It's starting to it's getting late early in Baltimore, I'll tell you. And then the other side, Pittsburgh, dude, I don't know what the fuck to expect in this game. It could be 6-3 or it could be 35-34. I have no idea. I
totally agree. I have
no clue, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rodgers is going to play. He looks, I don't know.
I suspect he's going to play. I mean,
I think so too.
He came back into that game, which that actually shocked me. I was surprised after getting his bell rung and breaking up his nose and bleeding. He came back in. He's clearly not happy with some of the play call and stuff. I don't know if you saw late in the game, they went for it on like 4th and 2, and I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. They ran the ball.
Yeah,
and he kind of like waved it off. Yeah, he like waved it off like, oh, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
he wasn't happy. Yeah, so yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he's starting to turn into what we expected.
Yeah, exactly.
So for sure.
Merry Christmas. Indianapolis at Jacksonville.
Dude, you know who belongs on that list, at least at some point on the honorable mention list, is Jacksonville. And again,
I know.
Coach Duval is doing a hell of a job.
I know.
They're winning football games, dude. Trevor Lawrence is still a bit of a wild ass hair from play to play. You never know. He still gives you those bad plays from time to time, but he's giving you more and more good plays.
Yeah, it's getting...
You know what I mean?
Getting to a point where we thought it was going to be 3 years ago.
Yes.
But
yes. They're a dangerous team because they're also starting to play some decent defense, and they get after the quarterback pretty good too. I think they're top 10 in pressures.
My boy Campanelli's got that defense cooking, man. They're pretty good.
Yeah,
they got guys on all 3 levels, man. You're right about that.
They really do. And you got to give their coach some credit because they're even a little more disciplined. Even from the beginning of the season, they had a lot of those false starts and holding penalties and all those shitty. And there's less and less of those.
I'd say though, I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but Liam Cohen does not look like a fucking head of an NFL team.
He does not. Look, neither one of us were high on it when they made the hire. No. And as we were watching interviews preseason and stuff, it was like, I don't know about this guy. He just looks like a snot-nosed kid from the schoolyard or something like that. Like you're right. He doesn't have the look.
Wedgies and shit.
But son of a bitch, he's doing a really good job. At least to this point, you got to give the guy some credit, man.
I think he's an Ivy League guy, but I'm not sure about this. Did you hear anything about him being an Ivy League guy?
I don't know about that. Sorry.
Hold the phone. Talk. I know you like to talk anyway. Hold on. Liam.
Me? I don't know what would make you say that.
Liam Cohen.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. Like it is surprising to me. I'm not going to lie. And to be fair, also in the beginning of the season, it wasn't looking that great.
Jesus but if you just look younger than me,
if you look, is he really? Yeah. Well, dude, that's going to happen more and more.
He's 40, but I'm 6 months older. LaSalle, he's a LaSalle guy.
All right, it's a Philly guy.
Wow. All right.
It's just the impressive thing to me is that it's gotten better and better and better as the season has gone along. They've gotten more consistent. When was the last time they had a bad game? I think the last what we would consider bad game was the game they played in Europe, maybe, even though they won.
Houston, they blew a game in Houston a couple weeks ago. That's when Houston started the ascent.
Okay.
Was
it a bad loss or was it?
Well, they blew a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter.
It was the double-digit one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then that's a bad one. That's a bad one. But was it on the road at least?
It was on the road. Yeah.
But still, that's not good. You can't blow a double-digit fourth quarter lead. And I think it was with Davis Mills at quarterback too.
It was. Yeah. I think that was the first one.
Not good.
Yep. Sorry to ruin on your parade there. But
thanks a lot.
We got to stay facts though, pal.
Yeah. I don't like that.
The Chicago Bears go to House of Horrors at Lambeau Field.
Look, it's another test. You look at this stretch that Chicago is on to end this season. They got the Packers. Did they have Minnesota? They have the
Detroit
49ers, Detroit. Like they're going to have to run the gauntlet going down the stretch. And I think
why guess when I can just tell you?
I think they're going to be exposed a little bit, but I think right now, I just think Green Bay is probably 2 years ahead of where Chicago wants to be. I think they're a better team. They're experienced in playoff runs and getting into the playoffs. So I would expect Green Bay to win this game. Plus, they're at home.
Oh yeah.
And I just think it's a lot to continue to ask Chicago to get these kind of wins.
At Green Bay, host the Browns, Packers again at the Niners, and Lions end the year. That's not great. Yeah,
it's a tough stretch. When you really point to one game and say that should be a win.
Bears
The rest
at
are all
Niners.
tough.
Christmas weekend, Sunday Night Football, Bears at Niners. That's awesome. That's cool. That's cool. Houston at Kansas City.
Fascinating game. This
Bro,
defense
this
is
week,
so good.
This week of games after, like, with all the pressure building, it's fantastic.
This is officially it, by the way. If Houston pulls off this win, and oh, by the way, with that defense, anything's possible. What do we always say? Defense and running game travels, right? So their defense will play good, and it's not like Kansas City has a bang-up offense anyway. And can you imagine with these two bookends getting after Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that, which they don't have a great pass blocking anyway.
Yeah,
Houston wins this game. I know we've been saying week to week, I think they're out. They lose this game, they're out. They lose this game, they're out. Kansas City loses this game. I think it's kind of official, folks. Like, they're losing games at home now, big, important games at home now.
That'll give them 7 losses.
To be
Denver
6 and 7.
Charged at 4.
Yeah, it's over. At that point, I'm going to call it. If Houston wins this game at Kansas City this weekend, put a fork in Kansas City's season's over. Because if you're losing at home to Houston, who's not exactly an offensive juggernaut, who are you beating down the road? Who are you beating down the stretch? It's not going to happen. So
play the taps. If they lose, Pete's calling it.
It's over. I'm calling it right now.
Monday Night Football, a long trip for the Eagles. They go to the Chargers. Fucking Herbert, broken hand again. I think it's the 3rd time he's broke his non-throwing hand or something on his non-throwing hand.
Yeah.
Eagles all banged up, lost on offense.
Losing Jalen Carter's big.
Chargers have no offensive line. That's going to help their guys.
But if they can now run the ball because Carter's out, I think
O'Marion Hampton's back for the Chargers too.
I think you're right.
It's good timing on that.
Do we know yet if Justin Herbert's playing?
He said he's playing.
He's playing. Fucking believable.
And Harbaugh's like, I'm not going to tell him shit. Hence what we talk about with Burrow. I'm not going to say shit.
Come on. Let's start. Come
on. Dude, I think the Eagles might be in trouble here.
I think they are in trouble, and for multiple reasons, though. Like, number one, you're going on the road. Hey, Chargers want this game just as bad. They're trying to make the playoffs too.
No doubt.
You're missing your best player, and what does LA want to do? They want to run the ball. So here's one thing you can take it to the bank about Jim Harbaugh every fucking game. He wants to run the ball, and he's going to make that happen. It may not work, it may not be successful, but he's going to get the attempts. He's not the kind of guy that's like, oh, we ran the ball 10 times for only 7 yards. Let's just throw the ball the rest of the way. That's not how he operates. He wants it because he looks at it like this. Even if you're going to stop the run, you have to expect the run. And if you're expecting run, then we can run play action off of it. So that's how they look. That's how he looks at it. That's how he game plans. And so that's what they're going to do. God forbid the Eagles can't stop the run again. Dude, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. And there's so much pressure. There's pressure on the OC. There's pressure on Sirianni.
Oh, my
God.
There's
pressure on Hurts.
Now, Fangio, there's deep pressure because they haven't looked good either.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of chatter. I swear to God, in my lifetime, 52 years, I cannot remember a head coach who is so successful, but yet gets calls for his head so often. This guy literally just won the Super Bowl last year, and people are already talking. If he can't get this straightened out, it's just like 2 years ago, and we should consider somebody else.
It is
like
kind of weird.
2 Super Bowl appearances and 1 Super Bowl victory is not enough to hold your fucking job in Philly, dude.
You're right. It is a little bizarre, but at the same time, why can't he get the OC job right?
Look, I don't even know if it was his call when they changed it last year to what's his face. That wasn't even his decision.
Yeah, well, maybe it shouldn't be his decision.
Well, I don't know if he even is the one who chose this one, but whatever. It's wild. It's just wild to me. It's wild to me. You know, sometimes these big media markets, and I'm thinking more like Chicago, New York, and Philly. Dude, they just between the fans and the media market, they bring so much heat on their teams, man, and on these organizations like leadership between the coach, GM, and ownership. It's really something else. You know, you can be the owner of Pittsburgh and hold on to your coach for 18, 19, 20 years because it's just not the same media market. You know, you can be, who's the head coach of Buffalo? I always forget his name. McDermott. You can be McDermott in Buffalo and get away with like not winning Super Bowls with Josh Allen because it's fucking Buffalo.
Yeah.
If if the Buffalo Bills were the Chicago Bills and McDermott was the head coach, he would have been fired probably 2 years ago. I shit you not. Like, I honestly believe that's really a possibility. It's a lot of pressure there.
Everything else?
Nope. You're good.
College football, sir, and we have some coaching things we want to jump into real quick first. Lane Kiffin's saga is over.
Yep.
Went to LSU. It's still unclear to me if he really wanted the job or not, or like did he have to take the job and like he's trying to stay at Ole Miss for the playoff run. Really crazy situation. I love how Ole Miss handled it. Get the fuck out. You took another job. Get out.
Absolutely.
Get out. We don't want you to get out. We got guys that want to stay. Get out. Do you think Lane Kiffin's is going to happen again 4 or 5 years? Like, what other job can he jump to?
I don't know about 4 or 5 years, and I think the likelihood is his next job, if and when he were to leave LSU, would probably be to go to the NFL. And I actually do think he'd do a good job at the NFL, by the way. So. I think he would do fine. Look, I'm not going to fault anyone who wants to climb the corporate ladder. If you want to take on bigger and better challenges, I'm not going to fault somebody for that. I love what he did at Ole Miss, and I love Ole Miss for giving him a chance. I said this last week, or maybe I didn't say it last week. Maybe I said it in a video that I made. Look, if we were to go back 6 years ago and ask Ole Miss, listen, you hire Lane Kiffin, and he's going to make your team a top 10, top 15 program in the country. And within the next 6 years, you're also going to make the college football playoffs and be like a top 16. But in 6 years, he's also going to leave you and break your heart. Would you take it? And you know what they would have said? Fuck yeah. Sign me up right now, because they were irrelevant. And now all we're talking about is Ole Miss and how far can they go, and can they do it without him? And you know what? They're likely to land a pretty good coach because of Lane Kiffin elevating that program.
Well,
do I like how
their coach?
Is he definitely going to keep the job?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a questionable decision, but I feel like that was. I honestly feel like that's a decision made out of emotion. I can't stand that. They should have waited. Regardless, and here's what I want to say on the other side with Lane Kiffin leaving. You have no choice but to strike while the iron's hot. What do you think Lane Kiffin was supposed to do? Wait till they miss the playoffs? Who's hiring him then?
Yeah, you're right.
And I give you one name as evidence: Matt Campbell at Iowa State.
Dude.
2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, there was no hotter name in coaching. We were told every NFL team wanted him, every college football team wanted him, and he said, "Nah, not yet. I'm gonna stay at Iowa State." And then now we have a cycle this year. Iowa State's not in the playoffs. Iowa State could, you can hire Matt Campbell. Nobody even fucking mentions Matt Campbell for any job. So what do you do as a coach? You're Lane Kiffin. What do you do? Wait till you're 7-5? And nobody wants you. The problem is the calendar. It's not the coaches.
That's the problem, yeah.
Don't sit there and tell me, like, who's the guy from Duke that does college basketball that was big on players getting paid?
Dick Vitale?
No.
Jay Billis?
Jay Billis. I don't want to fucking hear from Jay Billis about Lane Kiffin and he's leaving these kids in a lurch. You were the one who advocated for basically free agency for players so that they had mobility and they got paid. Well, guess what? If we're going to let the players do it, then the coaches can too. I asked this question. When would be okay? When is it okay for coaches to leave? When their contract runs out? Or if they get fired? That's the only time? Tell me if that's what you're thinking, because if that's what you're thinking, then the players sign a contract with a school, they shouldn't be able to leave either.
Right.
Okay? When you sign with a school and you get a scholarship, you don't get a 1-year scholarship. You're given a contract for a 4-year scholarship. And now they have the ability to leave anytime they want. Well, then coaches should be like, and I don't want to hear this shit. I just don't want to fucking hear it. Because the system is in place the way it is because the second semester starts and players have to be in place to go to school. Remember school? So then the coach has to be in place long before to do recruiting and portal and NIL and all that shit. And the only way that can happen is if these guys are hired in December. Joey
McGuire, head coach of Texas Tech, your boy, came on McAfee. He said he thinks he's got a resolution. He's like, listen, he was a big high school coach for years in Texas. He goes, why are we ending, before Christmas and college we can't get it right? Let's start this thing fucking quicker.
Started in August.
But the book started in August.
Started in August, and then you got 3 weeks for the playoffs.
That's exactly what he said. He goes,
skip a week after championship week.
It's
skip
okay
1 week
to play week to week because we've done that the whole season anyway.
I'll give him a week.
10 days, whatever you want to start Thursday, whatever.
Then get this shit started. Look, you know what would be best if we went back to the old system with only this. What I mean, scheduling wise, where it all ends on New Year's Day.
Yeah, that's what
let's have the playoffs in December.
That's college football's holiday anyway, dude.
And the championship game is played on New Year's Day. How about that? Yeah. Instead, we drag it out till the end of January.
And guess what
the portal's open already.
Guess what that does? Your coaches, your
portal, fucks everybody.
Well, if you move it up by January 1st,
it won't. Everyone's happy.
Everything's happy. Yeah.
Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy.
Guess what it also does? There's not too many diehard baseball fans anymore. And if you are, you watch your team anyway. But it's one day.
Oh, come on. Yeah, give me a break.
I'm just saying. You start in August, and now you have more eyes on your fucking product.
Look, I don't give a shit, and the college football shouldn't give a shit about Major League Baseball.
No,
NFL doesn't.
I'm just saying.
I was saying NFL doesn't give a shit about the NBA. They're not worried about the NBA on Christmas Day.
They don't give a shit about college football either, apparently.
No, they don't give a shit about anybody else's schedule. It's our business. So college football should just look, hey, Major League Baseball is not my fucking problem. They're going to get eyes more than Major League Baseball in August. I'm just telling you right now.
That's my point.
Yeah,
you got more eyeballs on your sport.
Absolutely. So yeah, that to me is the resolution. You move up the week, you move up the start of the season. Week 0 now becomes week 1. Yeah. There is the week 0. It's just week 1
and we
end
don't
of
have
August.
3 weeks in between fucking games now.
Right. And
get rid of the conference championship games too. If you want to throw that in there, please.
I don't want to do that, and here's
they don't
why.
Need anything anymore.
But I think they do. And here's why I say they do.
You're an old fuck.
Only one team wins a national championship. So only one team gets to hang a banner. Every conference champion gets to hang a banner.
Regular season banner, regular season champion.
But we look at the Big Ten. Who would be the regular season champion?
There's got to be a tiebreaker somewhere along the line.
Well,
right?
see, then it becomes gay.
All right, so if Julian Sand gets hurt this week and they can't fucking go to fucking move on.
You said that every year for the last 100 years.
Yeah.
So but it does matter, is my point. We got to remember that.
I don't think it matters as much as it used to, though.
Maybe not as much, but it does matter, especially if you're an ACC team. It does matter if you're Duke and you win the ACC championship. You're not going to win a national title, but you get to hang a banner that says we won the ACC championship.
But isn't that
you got to remember? There's more teams.
It's fucking stupid. 7-5 teams playing a conference championship game.
That's the problem of the conference. That's the problem of the teams in a conference, not the championship game.
Thanks a lot to your fucking Seminoles and Clemson for that.
Here, let me say one more thing about it. In the NFL, it matters less, but it's also because there's only 32 teams. You have 130 teams. Conference, only one team out of 132. I think it's 132, 130 plus. Only one team can win a national championship. And really, only one out of about 20 can win a national championship. Everybody else, it's nice to win a conference championship. I would not do that. I don't think you have to anyway. I just don't think you have to, especially if you go to that point system that we've talked about. So it's not about that. It's just about move up the schedule, 1 bye week, not 2. And then you play your conference championship, 1 bye week, 1 week off, and then get to it and you play every week. The max a team will play is 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So 3 extra games. Yeah. So come on.
Yeah,
just get it done.
Get this thing rolling. I know. We got to fix all this shit. Mr. Adams, you want to talk about Penn State?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up Penn State in a sense of they fucked up. I'm trying to keep it as simple as I possibly can. They screwed up. I think they thought that they had Cignetti lined up, that they would land him. They would throw enough money at him that they would land him. And they didn't, and now they're scrambling and I don't know what they're going to do. And you say, well, what difference does it make? Well, here's the difference that it makes. They literally have 2 players signed to come on as freshmen for next year. They are ranked at 150 in the country, right behind Monmouth University and Colgate in the recruiting class.
McNeese State is ahead of Penn State.
Seriously, Colgate and Monmouth. Seriously, this is a real problem. And some people are like, well, they'll just sign a bunch of guys at NIL. You can't sign enough guys at NIL to make up for that draft, for that recruiting class.
And Penn State's not one of those schools.
And they're not one of those schools, number one. But number two, why did you fire James Franklin? And I thought I was okay with it. I don't love all these firings, but I was okay with it. Why did you fire him though? Because he couldn't win the big game. Well, who the hell's going to come in now and win a big game if you got the 150th,
Matt Campbell?
You got the 150th, not the 50th, the 150th ranked recruiting class.
Nuts.
You ain't beating shit. You're not beating Northwestern. Northwestern's not even that bad. So you're not like you're not. They screwed up. They screwed up big time, and they got real problems. And frankly, they should beg Matt Campbell to come be their coach. They should beg him to come be their coach.
Are they going to give it to the interim guy? They have to, right?
I don't know what they're going to do. You know, Michigan State just hired Pat Fitzgerald. Yeah. They should have Penn State should have got him. He's an excellent coach. Only reason he's not coaching anymore is because of some bullshit that went down. Yeah. Like, you had opportunities and you fucked up. You screwed up. So,
dude, like 11 guys said no. Like, I don't understand.
It just and now I hear rumors. Oh, maybe they're holding out for a team that's in the playoffs. And you look at the teams in the playoffs, and you can. I think this was either
DeBoer, Alabama. Did you hear that one?
DeBoer, and I'm like, you think he's going to leave? He's going to make a run in the playoffs, and he's going to leave to go to Penn State.
And he's going to go. Yeah,
who would do that?
A dysfunctional situation with the.
Who the hell would do that?
No way.
Like, it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. So
I heard Brian Dable, Brian Kelly, like that. But there's some
weird stuff about Brian anybody?
Kelly. I don't think so.
Who's getting excited about that?
I don't think so.
Like, I genuinely think you jokingly said Matt Campbell. I actually think that would be phenomenal. That would be the biggest bailout.
I don't think right now. I don't think it's there anymore. I think you're right. I
don't think he would. Yeah, I don't think he wants to.
I think
it's crazy. It's just a disastrous job. I think they put all their eggs in one basket with Signetti, and they blew it, and now they're scrambling. I swear to God.
And Matt Rule, Matt Rule would look like an upgrade now.
I think right now they're lucky if they were able to steal the head coach from Montclair State to come be their head coach. I shit you not. It's really bad right now. So I'm telling you, all Penn State fans, I don't say this with any kind of glee because I kind of root for Penn State. I've always been kind of a fan of, not a gear-wearing fan, but I just like Penn State. Always liked Joe Pa, like the way he did things. Like, always root for them. This is a real turning point where shit can go bad quickly and I'll say permanently. Nothing's permanent, but I mean for a long. You could lose a decade because of what's going on right now.
I was just going to tell you the same thing, kind of. So Dan Patrick had a guy. He has he has insiders that he doesn't say their name because he wants the information, so he keeps them quiet. So right before the show ended today, he got a thing. He goes, "I got a Penn State alert or an update. It looks like they're going to keep the interim guy and then go all in next year."
Oh,
dude,
bro.
But one bad year of recruiting and
who wants that job?
It sets up. It's bad because then
it's disaster.
It's you could do it. You could ignite yourself quicker now with the portal, but dude, it's so much work.
It's a huge ask. First of all, you need the interim guy to do a good job. Do you know how easy it is with a bad recruiting class to go 2-10 in the Big Ten?
Dude, and they went all in this year.
That's what I'm saying. You have a losing record.
They're losing 35 seniors, like probably 16 starters on both. Like, you're in deep shit.
We don't really do hyperbole on the show.
I don't hate Penn State like I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
we don't do hyperbole. We don't do over the top comments. We don't do clickbait shit. I'm telling you right now, this can go so bad that they're a bad team for a decade. I'm a fucking decade, 10 years.
So
because if they go 2-10 next year with an interim coach or whoever they hire, your recruiting class for that coming year now is shit.
Yeah.
And now what? You're gonna beg who? Who wants that job? Now you're stuck. Now you hope that you can get the guy from St. Minneapolis or whatever the fuck, the Minnesota school that throws a shit at a ball. They win the Division III national championship. Something like that. Now you're begging that guy to come and hopefully you get lucky. I shit you not. I don't want this to happen, folks. I'm not trying to say. I'm just telling you, if this goes the way it looks like it's going, you're going to have a lost decade. And there are people that are alive now that are going to be dead before Penn State has a winning season again. I hope it doesn't happen. I want to be wrong about this. Believe me, I want to be wrong.
You know what this smells like? When Nebraska fired Solich.
And moved to the Big Ten.
It wasn't good enough.
They haven't been the same since.
It wasn't good enough. And
they haven't been the same since. Over money. That was over money.
And they couldn't go to a bowl game. They didn't go to a bowl game for like fucking 12 years.
It's
now they haven't beat a fucking ranked team in what? Dude, it's fucking
absolutely.
sick.
No, I'm telling you. This is what I mean. I am not. This is not clickbait, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm
And it's
telling
Penn
you.
State. They got tons of cash.
Fucking,
Dude, it's sick.
it's a disaster. Like this is like
dude.
DEFCON 1. There's a nuclear weapon that's on fire, and we need to put this fire out, or else there's going to be a fucking meltdown.
Dude, and this is why, like,
I'm telling you.
Listen, you know me a long time. I admit I'm nuts sometimes with Michigan and stuff. I talk to my Michigan buddies, and I'm going, fucking 9-3, fire this fucking, and I'm going, maybe slow down. It could get fucking bad
careful.
quick. It's like
what do you and I always talk? We can finish. We'll end on this. What do we always talk about when we say you're going to fire somebody? We're just talking about Mike Tomlin. You're going to fire. Who you get?
Right.
Who you get? You better have an upgrade lined up, and you're fucking sure about it. Like you're really 90% there.
Dude, they're over. Dude, they got guys going back to BYU. They don't want to coach Penn State.
You think about that. Think about that. Look, here's where they screwed up. That they didn't have their ducks in a row. And I just want to stop after this because I could go on. I could just go on because it's blowing my mind.
The sweater, you get hot.
I don't think Cignetti even interviewed. I don't think he even talked to him.
Dude, he got an extension that fucking Tuesday. He
was like, yeah, no, I'm not interested.
I'm good. I'm 64. I'm happy. Yeah.
That means they didn't have their ducks in a row. They didn't have their back channels. They weren't ready.
The Penn State AD must have been like, what?
Yeah, what? What do you mean you don't want it?
And then Matt Rule extends.
Now what do we do?
He extends. Then this guy extends. And then this guy extends.
You can't even get the head coach of Tulane to come to Penn State.
Dude, you can't get the guy at fucking Memphis. You can't get the guy. Dude, Dan Mullen said no. He's at UNLV, for Christ's sake.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm gonna say it one last time, and then we'll go to the review. This could be a lost decade for Penn State. I don't want it to happen. I like Penn State. I don't want it to happen, but it could be a lost decade.
All right, Black Friday night, Texas A&M goes down in Austin, 27-17. Arch played a little better. Well, no, he played a lot better. Just with more of his feet, looks more comfortable. He isn't. You could what in the beginning you could see him thinking.
Yeah,
that's kind of gone away now. He's reacting.
Sped up a little. Yeah, it's definitely sped up a little.
Good win for Texas. I wouldn't even call it a bad loss for A&M. Thank God they were on their feet going into that game because it would have been a little bit scarier. But
the thing that bothers me is Texas's defense played very, very well. And the Texas A&M defense did not play particularly well.
In spots, but not yet.
It's the one thing that we were like, this is maybe the best defense in the country. It's definitely what's going to lead them to, a potential championship. Ooh, like that's the part that I didn't like, And then obviously Texas A&M did not look good on offense. So
that's 2 out of 3 weeks now. A&M look bad. They remember they come back.
South Carolina. That's the biggest comeback in fucking college football history or something like that. Down 31-3 at the half.
That's a scary situation there.
Yeah, not that. Look, we were just talking about Green Bay and how they always find a way at the end of the season to be playing their best. This is exact opposite with Texas A&M. They could not be coming into the playoffs playing any worse.
Ugh. Peter, I got sad news for myself. For the first time in this podcast, Michigan lost to Ohio State, and it was not fucking pretty.
It was close for a while. It was tight for a while.
Well, here's the thing: Ohio State 27, Michigan 9. That's an ugly number in football. 9. So listen, they get the ball, they kick a field goal, 3-0, great.
Absolutely.
Second play, they get an interception. Let's go. Let's jump.
Boom.
Now you can see the ghost going with Ohio State. Here we go again. Right now it's starting to snow. No, another field goal, and you let them in. You just kept them in the game. Like
that was the problem.
Yeah,
if one of those field goals is a touchdown,
yes,
I'm again not exaggerating. It very well could have been a different game because it's just a different level of momentum. If one of those, especially one of the first two, if one of those 2 field goals is a touchdown instead of a field goal,
if it's 10-0, not 6-0, yeah,
because just the level of belief and the level of intensity goes up. I just think it's different. And then you're right. Then the ghosts start coming out, and Ohio State potentially starts saying, "Here we go again."
I got 2 things here on both sides of the ball. On Michigan side, I love running the ball. It's great when you run the ball 30-something times in a row, running down somebody's throat. But dude, that was the worst thing that could happen to Michigan a couple years ago. Because now this guy thinks he can do it all the time. And here's what's happening: you're on your 4th string walk-on fucking running back against Ohio State because your guys are so fucking banged up. You're losing linemen. Listen, and you got all this money with fucking with Underwood. Let's go, because he's going to leave and go somewhere else to throw the ball. You got to fucking understand it. Nobody could cover Tate. Well, yeah, okay. Enjoy your Bulldogs losing Saturday.
Blowing Ohio State right now.
And then Ohio State, dude, they're good. I mean, listen, I can say
they're good. Yeah, absolutely.
We couldn't get near them. Like anyone could get back there and throw all day. You can't get near them.
No, but I don't think Ohio State is an elite offensive team. And I just think pressure is pressure.
They're getting better, though.
Like, I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't think they're elite offensively. Their defense is very good. All I'm saying is if you get one of those field goals as a touchdown, I just think it's potentially a different game.
No, I agree.
Potentially. Maybe they still lose, but I don't think it's 24-9 or 27-9.
Yeah, I just think they wore out in the second half, too. It's just one of those games. But Ohio State was due for one of these. Listen, I had my 4-year run on. It was fun, but they're a good team.
I don't know. Two of those 4 you probably shouldn't have won. Like, that shouldn't have won. Be underdogs.
I don't know. I mean, they're the favorite going in for sure. But
I don't think they're
wide open. I think this thing's wide open, man.
I totally agree. Because I don't look on their schedule and say, oh, man, that's a signature win right there. I mean, I guess the Michigan game is, but Michigan's not an elite team this year. They're just not.
No.
So,
we'll see Saturday for sure. That'll be an elite win.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk about that.
Oregon 26, Washington 14, Oregon 11-1. They finally got 2 good wins in a row to end the year, USC and Washington, where they kind of they beat up Northwestern and Iowa, blah, blah, going into it. Dan Lanning's a good coach, very good recruiter, coach. Very good recruiter, hard to play there in Autzen Stadium or however you pronounce it.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you. Washington, tricky team, good athletes, but Jed Fish we both like.
Yes,
8-4 rivalry
an improving team, and he's a good coach too.
Oh, he's a great coach. Yeah, really good coach. That's the guy I want in Michigan.
Nice hire. Yeah, nice hire by them.
He turned down Penn State as well.
I know, man.
Oregon scare you in the playoffs?
Oregon has looked really, really good this year. They've looked good this year. They've looked okay this year, and they've looked not so good this year. So I'm not sure, man. Like they looked okay against Iowa. They looked really good at times. They looked not so good against Indiana.
The last 3 weeks, they've looked bad. Like they look like
they've looked good.
Figured out. Yeah.
There was a point during this season where I was like, I could see them win a national championship. I just don't know if I could see them winning a national championship right now.
I don't know what the numbers are.
I could see them beating anybody. I just don't know that they can go on that kind of run.
Yeah, that's
like fair. I can see them beating Ohio State if they play Ohio State.
Last year, they're the hands-on favorite. They got smoked by the Rose Bowl by Ohio State. So
right. So that's what I'm saying. Like I could see them beating Ohio State. I could see them beating Alabama. I can see them beating a lot of teams.
So here's my thing.
I just can't see them going on that kind of run.
Here's what I was going to say. There's a lot of games, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So here's what I was going to say. Like I don't know the numbers. I don't even know if this is possible. But let's say if Oregon ends up at 8 and A&M's 9, they're going to get their fucking dicks kicked in going to Oregon.
You think A&M will get their dicks kicked in?
I do.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying no.
I just don't
I guess
like
what I'm saying is I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what to expect. And of all teams, A&M, because they've looked really good and they've looked bad the way they've ended.
But you know how it goes. End of the year, you want to play your best football, and A&M's doing this, and Oregon's doing this. Like,
absolutely, no, 100%. I agree with that. Yeah. No, that's true.
And I don't even know if I trust Dan Lanning yet because he hasn't even been to a fucking Final Four game or a playoff, whatever, besides last year. But we'll see. And I think too. Also, one more thing before we move on. Sorry, I know me and you were both talking rambunctious about this. Year 2 now with a 12-team playoff. I think teams last year that had no idea how to handle it, you adjust, you do something different.
Everybody, by the way, everybody saw what they saw. Even if you weren't one of them, you saw what you saw, and you're gonna think about it differently. By the way, did they make the adjustment where even the teams who got a bye, they'll have a home game?
No,
they
got a bye.
I don't like that. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't understand why a lower ranked team gets a home game, but the higher ranked team doesn't get a home game. That makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. I'm sorry. If you're Indiana,
so you're saying like the first round should be at a stadium and the second round should be at a home?
Why not make the first 2 rounds just like the NFL? Like it's a home game. The higher ranked team gets a home game.
Mike, you might want to check your time on that. And you're a Georgia fan. I think it's a 4:00 kick. You fucking stew nod.
Jesus Christ, this guy!
It's unbelievable.
It's
unbelievable.
He's not
it's
a real
unbelievable.
fan.
It's scary, dude.
It's not a real.
Yeah, fan. It's not broken. I mean, it's broken. It's still not great to fucking play.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? Yeah. Like, let's say Oregon is an 8 and they get a home game. Why does Oregon get a home game, but say Ohio State doesn't? That makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. I just, it's insanity to me. So, like, so if you want to get rid of something, why are we calling these bowl games? They're playoff games. Who gives a shit? Like, you want to play it somewhere. I don't care where, like, but why are we calling them bowl games? They're not bowl games. These are playoff games. So those teams. Now, if you want to go semifinals and finals, that's fine. If those are bowl games, I guess you want to play them.
Because I think they got the contracts with the bowls. That's why.
Well, fuck your contracts. This is what I'm saying. Like, that's the kind of shit I could see melting away. First of all, I don't want to get rid of all bowl games because I want teams that don't make the playoffs to get a postseason game. I love that. Again, there's 132 teams. I just don't want the 12 get in and everybody else gets nothing. So I do like having postseason bowl games. I'm just saying the playoffs should be separate from that, at least the first 2 rounds.
Speaking of the elephant, Alabama 27, Auburn 20. This game was tight for a long time.
Tight. But a road win is a road win in college football.
In the Iron Bowl, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Ty Simpson.
Good and bad.
Yep, good and bad.
And I like him a lot. He's been, to me, the most impressive. Like, he looks most NFL ready of all the college football quarterbacks.
You think over Mendoza?
He just looks more NFL ready. When I see him do reads, when I see him scan the field, I see him go from 1 to 2 to 3 often.
Okay.
Mendoza does it too, but he hasn't had to do it as often as Ty Simpson has had to do it. Ty Simpson has played. Alabama's definitely played better competition this year.
Oh, no doubt.
Indiana's had a significantly softer
schedule.
Now, with that said, Indiana did it against Oregon, but they just haven't had to do it very often. And he did it against Penn State. He played pretty well, but
yeah, when he played Iowa on the road, he wasn't great. Like I
wasn't great. Yeah, I've seen Ty Simpson do it a lot. I've seen him make pro reads and then pro throws, but it wasn't always there in this particular game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vanderbilt. By the way, clean out your ears, everybody. I'm going to say this out loud. Vanderbilt 45, Tennessee 24.
Fucking smoked them.
Was that in Knoxville too?
I believe it was. I
could
be
so upset.
I stand corrected if I'm wrong, but I actually think he would be just mortified.
Absolutely. Poor Mr. Cowles.
But dude, this is the new college football. Vanderbilt maybe more than any other team. I'd have to, maybe Indiana is next, but Vanderbilt maybe more than any other team is a microcosm of the new college football system. And that is money makes the difference. These kids don't give a shit. For the most part, they don't give a shit about the history of your school. They don't give a shit about tradition. How much can you pay me? And Vanderbilt, if they got anything, they got money. And I think I said it earlier in the show, but I'll say it again. They just signed from Georgia the number 2 overall recruit, a quarterback. That's a big deal. Could you imagine? Can you imagine any universe 2 years ago and before that where some kid gets an offer from Georgia and says, "Nah, I'm going to go to Vanderbilt"? That world didn't exist.
Jay Cutler. No.
Yeah. Like, that world didn't exist.
By the way, now, Peter, stop me if you heard this before. Another guy that said no to fucking Penn State went back to Vanderbilt.
There you go. And why would you, right?
What is happening in Penn State?
It's awful. It's a disaster. It is an utter disaster, dude. It's a nuclear bomb. It's a nuclear holocaust. That's what's going on there. I'm telling you.
Anything else, sir? Championship weekend is upon us. Saturday noon, Big 12 rematch.
I'm fascinated.
Number 11 BYU against number 4.
No.
The Fighting Calisano, Texas Tech Red Raiders.
I may have something to say about this game later on. I will have something to say about this game later on. Look, Texas Tech smashed them handily the first time. So, I mean, it's all there for Texas Tech.
Ago.
Yeah, it's all there for Texas Tech. Neutral site. What is it? Game's probably in Texas, though, somewhere.
I think it's Jerry's World, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I would have expected.
Yeah.
So, it's almost like a home game for Texas Tech. But I will just say these championship games don't always go how you would expect.
Or funky.
Teams' motivation is motivation, so we shall see. But Texas Tech is a real football team, guys. I told you from the fucking beginning of the season.
You did.
The difference this year is money, and because they bought really good players on defense. That's why Texas Tech is better this year. It's they've always scored points.
That linebacker, the wife that's a military.
Yes.
He's fucking awesome, dude.
And they got other guys. They got guys that can get after the quarterback. They got defensive, some big beef on defensive tackle. Yeah. I said to you a few weeks ago, I said, because you were like, what about Texas Tech? You don't think? And I said, no, I don't think they can compete for a championship, but I think they're good. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So we're going to find out. That's the beauty of this system now, is that we're going to find out where they really do stand eventually. So, but this is a big game for them too, man. Make no mistake. Like BYU, it's a big game because I think if BYU wins this game, they're in. Texas Tech is probably in either way.
If BYU wins this game and Notre Dame is out,
probably, right?
Has to be.
Better record, better quality victories. Like on every metric, it's better. So, but Texas Tech, if you win this game, you're in, and you've kind of like solidified yourself as one of the elite
and you got top 4. You got to buy.
You're top 4. You got to buy. Be huge. It's a huge game.
So Mike Mangano's Georgia Bulldogs. He's probably got the oil ready to go. The candles. Number 3 Georgia versus number 9 Alabama.
Basically a home game for them.
Herbie Smart's House of Horrors here, playing Bama in this game.
Bama beat them earlier in the season, correct?
They did.
I'm going to say the same thing I said about the previous game. I don't know that means anything. The other thing I will say, we talked about this, 2 weeks ago, probably, where I said Georgia is probably, they're another one of those teams that's probably playing their best football at the right time. They really probably are. I think this is going to be an absolute slugfest, heavyweight knockout fight. I do not have a pick on this game because I genuinely don't know. I think Georgia's going to win this game. I really do. But Alabama has absolutely run through the gauntlet this year and has come out in the SEC championship game. So I can't take it away from them either.
Gunnar Stockton versus Ty Simpson. I love it. It's gonna be, and
they've both played really, really well. And Gunnar Stockton has absolutely improved throughout this season. There's no question about it. And maybe the most important thing for Georgia is that, when we think Kirby Smart, we think defense. Their defense has not been great all year, but over the last couple of weeks, it has really improved. They were really having trouble getting after the quarterback early in the season. They're better at that now. They're still not great at it, but they're better at it now. Good coaching job. This is a different game than when they first played.
ACC championship game. 7-5 Duke versus 17 Virginia. I have to mention it, but that's exactly what it's going to be. Dude,
could you imagine?
I heard Neuheisel went on a fucking thing about Duke winning, and I'm like, whatever, bro. Like,
possible, even though they just lost to UConn.
Spread's like 3. Of course they can win the game. Like,
Virginia should win this game, folks. They've been the best team, probably outside of Miami. They've been the best team in the ACC this season. They should win this game. I don't know that they're going to win this game. Do we know where this is being played? Is this playing at in Charlotte or something?
I want to see Charlotte. Yep, I think Charlotte or Jacksonville, one of the two. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I suspect Virginia's going to win this game. But Virginia is a weird team too. They've won a lot of games this year, but they've won no blowouts. They don't stomp anybody. So I suspect it'll be pretty close. Yeah.
The whole thing is weird.
Yeah. They were the one that started the cascade, and Mike's going to love that I'm mentioning this. They're the ones who started the cascade against Florida State. They beat Florida State, and then Florida State went off a fucking cliff after that game. So they were never the same. So there you go, Mike. Yep. I know you were disappointed. I mentioned Florida State for you. Okay,
5-7, another year, 5-7. Norvell comes back, dude.
They're bringing him back too, man.
What is happening?
Jesus. You know what the problem is? I bet you the problem is that they're still paying about 3 different coaches on their buyouts.
Jimbo, right? Yeah,
I think they're still paying Jimbo. They might be paying the guy before him. I can't even remember his name. I don't even remember.
Taggart.
Taggart. They might still be paying his ass. So, look. We like to say limitless, but there are limits.
Norvell hasn't been good. Anybody other than Jordan Travis, he's been terrible. I don't understand.
This year has been so bizarre, though, because they started out so good.
I know.
How do you go and beat Alabama?
That game was awesome.
Start 3-0, 4-0, and then you just fall apart like a cheap suit. Like, that's the part that gives me – it's not so much the record. It's that you fell apart. Like, that's the fireable offense.
Yep.
But I just think it comes down to money. It's the only what the hell? Why the hell else would you keep him?
Big Ten championship game from Lucas Oil Stadium. Number 2 Indiana versus number 1 Ohio State. I have something to say about this game in a minute.
Me too.
It's very slim pickings this weekend. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take fucking Duke against Virginia. No way.
To me, this is the most interesting game of the weekend because I genuinely am not completely sure of either of these teams. Georgia and Alabama, heavyweight fight, knockout. We know who those guys are. We know what we're looking at. And maybe that's the beauty of the SEC is that if you survive that schedule, we kind of have a pretty good feeling of who you are. Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, even
LSU,
Tennessee,
Vanderbilt,
LSU, Florida. Man, you make it through that schedule, even with a weakened Florida team. Like you make it through that schedule, South Carolina, you're good. We know who you are. I think Indiana's pretty good. I mean, they went into Oregon and won convincingly. Like one run going away with it. But you've had tough games at Iowa, tough game at Penn State. I don't know. Not for anything. Ohio State, 14-7 at home against Texas. I don't know. Like I know they're good. They're good. Both of these teams are good. How good? I genuinely am not sure. I think Indiana's offense is better than Ohio State's offense. I think Ohio State's defense is better than Indiana's defense.
Yeah.
I genuinely am not
which makes the matchups good.
Makes it fascinating. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. To me, this is the most interesting, the most fascinating.
Hey, do me a favor. Get a nap in Saturday so you can stay up for this one. All right, pal?
I'm gonna work on it. I won't start drinking until just before the game. That'll help.
Boy, that's smart. That's 52. That's smart thinking, pal.
There you go.
Betting wise, we have 27, 15, and 2 for me. 28 and 16 for you. Our percentages are right close to each other.
And we're good year. And really good percentages, by the way.
Good year. Yeah, we've had it pretty good.
I think that's 2 years in a row that we're
2 years for you. Last year was a little rough for me. I think the year before I had a little bit of a good one.
Making people some bread. Making them bread.
Start in the Big 12 championship game. I know Texas Tech beat them up a couple weeks ago at home. But BYU, big fellas on that team. They just got their coach back. The coach said, fuck you to Penn State. He said, fuck off. I will be here. 12.5 is a big number.
Again, didn't even take an interview.
And it's a fucking – these championship games are weird. You got a fumble on a kickoff. You get something.
Momentum shift.
Dude, you lose by 9. That's a cover. Great. So I'm going to take BYU plus 12.5 against Texas.
I had the same thing, and for the same reason. I think Texas Tech is going to win, and I've been a cheerleader of Texas Tech maybe more than anybody in the country outside of the state of Texas. Just 12.5 is a lot for a conference.
Fucking big Red Raiders.
I love the quarterback. I love what they're doing. I like the coach. I love the money they spent on the defense, especially. 12.5 in a conference championship game is a lot, dude. That's just a lot. So yeah, I'm going to go with BYU on this one too. And I will gladly pay the win tax if they win by 3 touchdowns.
There you go. I think we're going to differ here. Big Ten championship game, Ohio State laying 4 to Indiana. I saw what they did to my Wolverines last week. They didn't both. They did first half passing, second half running. I know Michigan's not great. They're not as good as Indiana. I keep on saying that in football. Jesus Christ.
Incredible, right?
But this is like a win tax for me too. I hope they get their dicks kicked in personally. But I don't think so. I think Ohio State probably pulls away late. They're starting to find a running game with the freshman named Bo Jackson of all names.
Isn't that something?
I think his real name is Lamar Jackson. They call him Bo. Like, what the craziest shit is that, right? Like,
you better be good if they're gonna. Yeah, and that's not your actual name.
So I think they figure it out late. I think Indiana plays well. I think like something more like 34-30, 35-30, something like that. I sneak out of cover. So give me Ohio State -4.
Last year, Indiana was not ready for this. They didn't know what they were getting into. This is an experienced team now, and this is an experienced coach. And the biggest difference from last year to this year, Indiana's a pretty damn good defensive team. They're not as good a defensive team. I just said this. They're not as good defensively as Ohio State, but maybe they don't have to be because I don't think Ohio State is that great on offense. I think they're good. I just don't think they're great. I've watched Indiana play a lot of games this year, and their defense has been solid every single game. Every single game. The defense shows up every single game. And I think that's the biggest difference from last year's team. I'm not sure that they win this game either. I saw the line at 4.5, so I'm going with that. I'm going to take Indiana plus the 4.5 over Ohio State.
Oh, I hope you're right. I hope they went outright. I money line that.
I look. I don't do this all the time, but I'm going to say it now. If you're thinking of taking Indiana plus the 4.5, go for it. I wouldn't oppose you putting a little on the money line and getting the juice, especially if you're going to get something like plus 250, plus 280. If you can get it in that range, plus 250, plus 240, plus 250, I think is the best you're going to get. I think there's a chance they win this game, dude. I think they got the better quarterback. I think they got really good receivers. I think they may have the better offensive line even, which is crazy to say against Ohio State. Awesome. So I like Indiana in this game.
Peter, to the NFL we go. I had trouble finding two this week, man.
I did too.
I did not like this slate at all for the gambling purposes. So I went with two primetime games. The way Houston, Texas is playing right now, they can fucking play defense on the sun. The way the Chiefs are playing offense right now, a little shaky to me. If Stroud doesn't fuck up this game completely, I think the Texans are in this game, and I think they might win the game. So you're telling me I get 3.5? I love the number. You said it last week, 2 weeks ago. Betting is against with the number, my friend.
Absolutely.
Houston plus 2.5 at Kansas City.
I have a question for you.
Put him out of their misery, baby. Let's go. Yeah.
Davis Mills, 3 straight wins.
Yeah.
Is it a mistake?
Well, Stroud played last week.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So that's not a mistake. I had a kind of hard time.
Oh, you're the best. You do it every week somewhere along the line.
There's always a slip up. Davis Mills, at least Davis Mills did actually win 3 straight games.
Well, at least we know he's a hell of a backup.
He's a great backup. I had a hard time with this slate too, but I'm going to go back to the well. I've gone to this well a couple times, and it's treated me very well. This well. Cleveland at home is just a different team. They play defense on a different level, and they're playing the worst team in the NFL. So I don't love the number because it's 4, but I think there's a chance they win by a touchdown or more. Maybe this is the chance for Shador to kind of get off a little bit at home in front of the home crowd against a bad team. Not the worst defense in the world, but a bad team. Give me Cleveland -4 at home against Tennessee.
So should I mention now or later that they just got their ass kicked at home against the Niners?
I know, but it's the Niners. Let's not compare the Niners to the Titans.
Just joking with you. You know, as this podcast went on, I wanted to change this bet because I just don't know. I don't know what the fuck to expect in this game. I have the Chargers -3 at home against Philly because I don't like the way Philly's playing. Long trip. They just lost their best defender. But the fucking quarterback has a broken hand. He's going to be handing the ball off to this way with the other hand.
Backhand handoffs?
Yeah, backhand handoff. I don't love that at all. But I'm going to stick with it. I think the Chargers, and again, you said it before, Chargers need this game as well. They're 2 back against the Broncos or a game and a half back, whatever, because they won head-to-head. They still got to play them again. They're 2 up on the Chiefs. If I might get out of here with a push. I hope I get out of here with a push. Chargers -3 against the Eagles.
It's so funny you say that. You beat me to the punch on that one. I was going to say there's an above normal chance here that you just get the push on this one. It wouldn't shock me. 24-21, 2017, 27-24. Right. None of those would shock me. I think there's an abnormally high chance for a push on this one. Look, we talked about both of these teams earlier and how they're kind of going in opposite directions here. I'm going to go with the Jags at home, getting a 1.5 against Indy. And I'm kind of just going with the trend here. Jacksonville's been playing better. Trevor Lawrence has been playing better.
Yeah.
Indianapolis looks like a shell of themselves. They're not running the ball like they were. Daniel Jones hasn't had a good game in like 3 weeks at least. I think Jacksonville finds a way. Look, again, win the game. If you win the game, you're covering the spread. So I think Jacksonville at home +1.5 against the Colts.
Jacksonville always plays well against the Colts too for some reason.
They do tend to.
And if Jones is limping around and that defense gets after him, that could be a long day, man. I like that.
That's what I'm thinking there.
Yeah. So I got the BYU Cougars +12.5 against Texas Tech. Ohio State -4 against Indiana. The Houston Texans +3.5 at the Chiefs, and the Chargers -3 at home against the Eagles.
Scotty and I agree on BYU getting 12.5 against Texas Tech, but we disagree. I'm taking Indiana plus the 4.5 over Ohio State. And I think think it might be a good idea to put a couple beans on the money line on that one. Love Cleveland at home. They play so much better, especially defensively. I wouldn't be shocked if Tennessee got shut out 2 weeks in a row here. Cleveland -4 against Tennessee. And I do like the Jags getting a 1.5 against Daniel Jones, who hasn't been playing well in the Indianapolis Colts.
Peter, who is first?
Trivia.
Oh, yes, we do.
But you forgot.
Who is first all time in receiving yards with the Green Bay Packers? Donald Driver, Sterling Sharp.
I love that's who popped in my head.
Devontae Adams or James Lofton?
I'm going to go with Devontae Adams.
It is Donald Driver.
Damn.
Devontae was fourth.
No shit. Yeah. I was way
Peter,
off.
who was first all time in receiving touchdowns with the Packers? Jordy Nelson, Don Hudson, Sterling Sharp, Antonio Freeman.
Wow, I really want to say Sterling Sharp here. He deserves to be one of the right answers here. He was a really good receiver.
Hall of Famer.
He put who's the second guy you put in there?
Don Hudson.
Yeah, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Oh, I want to say Hudson. I really do. Because that's what you do. That's what you tend to do in these spots. Sterling Sharp.
Don Hudson.
Son of a bitch. I knew it. And I didn't do it. Golly.
99 career touchdowns. All right. Last one. You gotta get off the schneid here.
Yeah. I think I went 0-3 last week, didn't I?
Who is first? You might have. Who is first all time in receiving yards with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh, man.
John Stallworth, Antonio Brown.
Damn it. I was hoping he wasn't on the list.
Lewis Lips.
Jesus Christ. I really don't want to say Antonio Brown. Who could give me the list again?
John Stallworth, Antonio Brown, Hines Ward, Lewis Lips.
Yards or touchdowns?
Yards.
God, Antonio Brown lit it up for a while, man. Hines Ward was there for 100 years. That's the only thing that, like, he was kind of more a possession receiver, third down, get a first down, but man, he was there forever. Stallworth, they just didn't throw the ball as much back then. He played more years than Lynn Swann, though. Oh, man. Fuck it. Antonio Brown?
Mike, you got this one. Hines Ward.
Yeah, just a long career, man. Long ass,
played forever.
Long career.
I know what you're saying too, because Brown caught the long ball, but Hines caught all those like 6 yard.
He was like the best receiver in the league, or one of the best receivers in the league for like a 3-4 year stretch there. He was just outstanding.
Peter,
absolute mental case.
Oh, yeah,
That's 2 weeks in a row, dude. That's 2 weeks in a row. I think I went 2 weeks in a row with a winning record.
I think you did.
2-3 or 3-0.
Oh, yeah.
And now I haven't got one right since. God, I suck. All right, so obviously we're watching championship football this weekend, but anything else on your menu?
On my TV menu? No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
There is the Hero Golf Tournament with some name. Scotty Scheffler, I think, is in the lead. No, he is not in the lead. He was playing well, but he's not. Oh, no, this is a different tournament now. Yeah, so he was in the lead because they went off the air. So if you're looking for your top names in golf, the Hero Invitational. Is that Tiger's thing?
I don't think so.
That's not Tiger's event. I thought the Hero thing was his thing. But I will also say, obviously,
right, I don't know.
Yeah, obviously with football, there's a big UFC event this weekend, UFC 323. I'm gonna see if I can get this fucking guy's name right. I've seen him fight a number of times, but I could read his name 1,000 times and get it wrong. Dvalishvili versus Jan 2. So this is a rematch. We've talked about it. I'm a big fan of UFC, and I've come to like it more than boxing because I feel like boxing most of the time, the favorite wins, the guy who's supposed to win wins. UFC, there's upsets on every card, and there's upsets in all kinds of fights. Like, there's just more likely to be an upset because of the potential for knockouts. Like guys can get caught in a choke, and guys can get a foot on the side of their head that they didn't see coming, and it's just like that. It's over.
Yeah.
So I will definitely be checking in on that as well. Dvalishvili. I think
There
I
you
just
go.
said that properly.
There you go.
Dvalishvili. Yep, I did. Versus Jan, and it's a rematch, so it should be
Good
good.
luck, Mike. Go Dogs.
For Scott Bracey, I'm Pete Calisano. You've been listening to Bump and Run, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Later.
Go Hoosiers!
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Scotty will gladly pay the win tax. There you go. Oh, all right. I should have this out tonight. I don't think